talk about relationships. People go through the worst, the best, the bad, the good. Um, sometimes you meet a person that you get into a relationship and they want you to change who you are. And sometimes people can't change. Some people are good people by nature, and to change will create a bad aura, a bad person. A person that cheats, a person that does what they're not supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, why should you change a loyal and good person? That's a good question. I mean, if you got a man or woman that's cooking, they're cleaning, they're paying the bills, they're doing all the great things that a man or woman should do, why would you want to change that? You know, um, there's so many questions, there's so many answers that a lot of people don't understand. That when you're in a relationship, if you have that, see, a lot of people think the perfect person could be somebody that does this or does that. A perfect person. Let me explain. There is no perfect person, but there's good people. Good people will make sure the bills is paid. Will make sure they're loyal. Not 50% loyal, but 100% loyal. That's the kind of man and woman you want. But when you try to stretch your limitations, when you try to say, that's not enough, I want more out of the relationship. Greed is a sin. And when you try to get more out of that person, the walls will collapse and fall. It's not good. They say when the walls collapse and fall, that person will stray. That person will develop things that it's not a part of that person's life. Don't try to change something God created. Don't try to change something God put all good into. Because when you do, destruction is coming. And that's what a lot of women and men don't understand. And there's also men and women that have kids that they don't appreciate their kids. They don't value their kids. They don't, they take their kids for granted. You cannot, in this world, the world is changing fast. Kids are being more disrespectful, more murderers, more rapists, more pedophiles. The numbers are climbing, And when you look at the kind of accidents, vicious, there's a lot of hate, negativity. There's so much hate that slowly but surely, a part of that hate and evil and negativity is creeping inside you. And you're thinking to yourself, how did I get to this point? I used to be a good person. Then you gotta break it down to depression. Some days you're depressed. Some days you say, hey, I don't have no money. Or some days, it's not the point that you don't have no money. It's the point that you chose. Listen, you chose that way of life. You chose to be broke. You choose to not have money. You choose to be depressed. You choose to not have listen, it's all your fault. If I wake up one day and I don't have no money, what am I going to do? I'm not going to be depressed. I'm not going to be sad. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do as a man. As a man, I'm going to rise above that. Rise above depression. Rise above being broke. Rise so far up that cash is going to come flying in my pocket. Because this is what real people do. This is what God expects from you. He put you on this earth not just to live, but he put you on this earth to defeat the trials and tribulations, to defeat the devil, to defeat all the different things that you go through. Because what you don't realize is this is all a test. It's a test. Everything you go through in life is a test. You could go through so many different things. Listen, there was a time in my life where I was in a lot of trouble. You know? And I was looking at a lot of time in jail. But you know what happened? I truly believe that God tested me to see where my willpower was, where my mind was, because the mind is a creative thing. I'm gonna tell you, I got out of that situation, and it amazed me. It made me believe that I could do anything. And it's crazy because I walked away from that situation untouched. And when I walked out of that courtroom, you know what the judge told me? He said, "You are truly amazing." He said, "You have the mind of someone that could go so far." And when I walked out of that courtroom, I kept it up here for the rest of my life. I kept it up here because I knew that God had a plan in all my life, everything I do. And listen, let's not talk about me. Let's talk about the things that you should do to be successful. Number one, you have to believe in yourself. That's number one. And number two, you have to believe that no matter what happens, you will never be broke. You will always have a light shining on you every day. So, when it comes to faith, when it comes to loyalty, when it comes to honor, when it comes to being the best at what you are, you have to think. You have to think to yourself, you have to think to yourself that I can go further. I can accomplish anything I want to accomplish. No matter who you are. You know? And that's just it. You know, if you want to become successful, you want to become something that you... Listen, don't think that you're not successful, or you can't, or you're weak, or you're not strong. Because in the back of your mind, in your brain, in your mind, there's knowledge. There's you have the tools to become successful. You have the tools to become what you are. Don't think you have to be somebody else. Or don't look at other people's YouTube and say, "Oh, I wish I could do that." Because you can. You can. God created you. You know? You can go further in life. You can do anything you want. You know? A lot of people say, "Hey, Lorenzo, you'll never be able to do that." And here I am. Business is stronger than ever. You know? Profits is up. They're not up the way I want them to be, but I'm working on that. So when you look at your success, there's always going to be, put it this way, the devil's always going to play a role. His role is to make sure you fail. And if you keep on rising, there will be no failure. There will be success. in anything you do, anything you're going through. You could be going through a court proceeding. You could be going through your life changing. You could be going through your relationship. Success is always there. You know what I'm saying? But you have to think positive. You have to think positive. You have to be loyal. You have to be understanding. You have to be able to say, I'm going to conquer my situation. You know what I'm saying? Because you are the one that's going to plant that seed. And when you plant that seed, your life is going to grow. And that's just it. You know what I'm saying? If you truly believe that you can conquer any situation in your life with the help of God, you can do some amazing things. That's just it. Thank you for listening. And always think that you can be successful.